Knitters, are you ready to unravel the mysteries of confusing knitting patterns? Don't worry, you're not alone. Many knitters find themselves staring at a pattern, scratching their heads. But today, we're going to demystify those complex instructions and make knitting patterns simple and fun. We'll break down the logic behind pattern reading and walk through the steps, making sure you feel confident with every stitch. First, let's talk about the anatomy of a knitting pattern. Most patterns start with the project's name, the materials needed, and the gauge, which is essential to ensure your finished project matches the intended size. Then, the pattern provides the instructions, usually in a series of abbreviations and symbols. Familiarizing yourself with these abbreviations is key. Common abbreviations include K for knit stitch, P for purl stitch, SAINT for stitch, and STS for stitches. There are others like YO for yarn over, and K2 TOG, which means knit 2 stitches together. Take the time to create a cheat sheet. Next, let's look at the pattern itself. Patterns are often written in rows, and each row details the sequence of stitches to be performed. Some patterns are written out in words, others are charted. Charts are visual representations of the pattern, where each square represents a stitch, and the symbols within the squares indicate the stitch to be used. Whether you're reading words or following a chart, the key is to take it one row at a time. Read through an entire row before you start knitting. Identify the stitches you'll be using, and have your needles and yarn ready. Now, let's go through a sample pattern together. Let's say our first row reads K2, P1, K2. This means knit 2 stitches, purl 1 stitch, then knit 2 stitches. Simple, right? Let's say the next row reads P2, K1, P2. This means purl 2 stitches, knit 1 stitch, then purl 2 stitches. You continue these rows, reading carefully. If you're working from a chart, you'll follow the symbols across each row. Sometimes patterns include repeats, indicated by asterisks or brackets. These sections are to be repeated a certain number of times. Let's consider some common pattern pitfalls. One common mistake is misreading the pattern or skipping a stitch. Double-check each row and count your stitches frequently. Another issue is gauge. If your gauge doesn't match the pattern's gauge, your finished project won't be the correct size. Always knit a gauge swatch before starting your project. Also, when you encounter a new stitch or technique, don't hesitate to look up tutorials. There are tons of online resources that can help. Remember, knitting is a skill that improves with practice. The more you knit, the easier patterns will become. So, don't be discouraged if you don't understand everything right away. Take your time, read carefully, and enjoy the process. Thanks for joining me. Happy knitting!